Section 5.8. Solve the right triangle shown in the figure. Round lengths to 2 decimal places and express angles to the nearest tenth of a degree. In this figure, we have a right triangle. At angle C is your right angle, capital C. Notice my angles are capital A, capital B, and capital C. The sides opposite the angles are labeled with lowercase letters. The side opposite angle A is lowercase a. The side opposite angle C is lowercase c, which is the hypotenuse. And the side opposite angle B is lowercase b. We have been given in this problem that angle A is 23.5 and side B is 10. Now we're to find all of the missing parts of this triangle. We already know that angle C is 90 degrees. We also know that all 3 angles of a triangle add up to give us 180. So I could make a statement that angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals to 180 degrees. Well, we know angle A is 23.5. I'm searching for angle B, so I'll leave it angle B. Angle C is 90. I plug in all the values that I know. So to solve for angle B, add together 23.5 plus 90 gives you 113.5 plus angle B equals to 180. To solve for angle B, subtract 113.5. So angle B equals to, punch in your calculator, 180 minus 113.5, you end up getting 66.5 degrees. So we know that angle B is 66.5 degrees. Now I'm going to label these on my triangle. Angle A is 23.5 and angle B is 66.5. Okay? Now, I know that side B is 10. But I'm missing side A, lowercase a, and side C, the hypotenuse, lowercase c. To find the missing sides of these triangles, we will use our trig functions. I'm going to look at angle A. And in consideration, I'm going to consider that side A is opposite angle A. And I'm also going to use the only side that I have is B. And its relationship to angle A is it's adjacent to A. Angle A. So what trig function do we know that involves an angle and a side opposite and a side adjacent to that angle? Well, that is tangent. So I'm going to create an equation. Tangent of 23.5 is equal to my opposite side, which is A, over my adjacent side, which is B, but I know B is 10. Now, we can solve this proportion. This is tangent 23.5 over 1 equals to 8 over 10. To solve a proportion, you cross multiply. So I would have 10 times tangent of 23.5 equals to, multiply 1 times A, that's A. So A is equal to, take your calculator and multiply 10 times tangent, and make sure that your calculator is in degrees, 10 times tangent of 23.5. When you do, you get 4 point, and we're supposed to round lengths of sides to 2 decimal places. So I get 4.35. That's my length of A. So A is 4.35. Now, the only side that I'm missing is my hypotenuse, which is C. Now, I'm not going to use the measure of angle A to help me find C because I've rounded. And on the Math Excel, you don't want to use something that you've already rounded as part of the problem. So I'm going to go back and use 10 that I was given and the missing side, which is C. Now, I could either use angle A or angle B. Either one of those would be fine. So being that I used angle A before, I'm going to use angle A again. So what trig function involving angle A uses adjacent and uses the hypotenuse? Now here's angle A. B is adjacent. C is the hypotenuse. So what trig function involves the adjacent and the hypotenuse? That would be cosine. So I'm going to set up another proportion. Cosine of 23.5 is equal to B, which is 10, that's your adjacent side, over your hypotenuse, which is C. So now I have my last proportion that I need to solve for side C. So I'm going to think of cosine of 23.5 is over 1, and let's cross multiply. So that's C times cosine of 23.5 equals 2, cross multiplying here, 1 times 10 gives me 10. To solve for C, divide both sides by cosine of 23.5. Divide both sides by cosine of 23.5. The cosines cross out on the left, so I end up with cosine of 10 divided by cosine of 23.5. So let's use our calculator. 10 divided by cosine of 23.5. So C is equal to 10.90. Now, both A and C are actually approximations since I rounded. So I'm going to do the symbol for approximation. It's not an equal sign. I'm going to change my equal signs to an approximation sign. Okay? So C is approximately 10.9. So C is approximately 10.90 and A is approximately 4.35. And then we found angle B is 66.5.